Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
Oh. Hello, everybody. Just eating an apple at the minute. 1 second. Hello, everybody. Slipping here. Today I'm just doing another casual commentary. Today I'm playing Deadlock as Graves. And I'm just kind of doing a, you know, as the title suggests, a bit of a kind of, like free sample test Graves. I was trying to think of a good name for this build, because I you know, as you'll see on the screen soon, I'm just following a preset build. My original plan was that I kind of wanted to focus on being a support to my team, and I wanted to focus on countering a lot of the enemy heroes, because I've been practicing that a lot. I've been trying to specifically go into games, you know, hoping to get something like a tank on the enemy team, or a Vindictor or something, you know, that I can buy a knockdown for and use it again to kind of learn how to counter play styles and other heroes and stuff like that, etc, etc. But as you'll see, you know, I don't really end up doing that. I just kind of follow the build, and it ends up being a bit of a mix of some spirit, quite a lot of gun, and some healing stuff. So as you can see here, we're just kind of fucking about on the lane at the minute. I've bought a few items now. I've got Restorative Shot, and I think it's Stamina Enhancement, I believe. This is one I like to get pretty much just regardless of the game, because I find most of the time when I am actually dying as Graves, it's because I just can't get out of a situation fast enough. When Graves first released, I was, you know, pretty much just going full DPS mode, and as I've learned, especially recently, you know, your role is more to accommodate kill assists. You know, setting up a scenario so that a teammate can get a kill. The thing is, with my lane partner here, I'm playing with Ivy, and especially early game, we're not really good at actually getting kills. We're just very good at clearing waves. So you'll kind of see a lot of that here. We don't really end up actually, like, getting many kills, at least at the start. But we're very efficient at clearing the wave and pushing that forward. So you'll see how that plays out as the video goes along. But anyway, I buy close quarters here, because the thing is, with Graves, there are some items which, you know, are purely just beneficial for her. Because your actual weapon is so close range, you know, it has a very close proximity. Pretty much all of the damage you're going to be doing is in close range. Just escape this portal here. I'm not sure what that doorman was thinking. He could have easily trapped me there, but he chose not to, I suppose. But yeah, most of the damage you're going to be doing is very close range. So I like to buy items that kind of benefit her in that way. Weighted Shot is another good one. You know, just anything fire, and any kind of gun item is really fun. But yeah, we're trying to take on both the Wraith and the Doorman here, and as you can see, we don't really have much luck. I check the jungle, realise it's not quite 6 minutes yet. So I just kind of doss around over here. But yeah, as you can see, you know, we're dealing with the wave just fine. That's not a problem at all. But what is these two little fuckers over here very, very nearly almost die here. So I just think, you know what, I'm going to go back, 2 spawn, fully heal, come back, and then I'm shortly back on the wave. But yeah, no problem clearing these waves here. So head back over to the jungle. These creeps here called me a so I have to clear my name and defeat them. So now I'm back on the wave and actually have my ult now. And I'm never quite sure when to use my ult. You know, I want to put it down for like the most efficiency, and I think placing it over on our side, you know, seems to work because they can get over to the enemy's Guardian, actually start dealing some damage, and I don't think the distance really affects anything, to be honest. We still managed to get a solid push here. I think kind of clear a lot of the Guardian's actual health. I'm always very cautious when pushing a wave, especially this early. If it feels at all unsafe, I just back off. You know, and as you can see, I'm still not really doing any damage against either of these guys. So I'm just trying to be very low key, very safe. And then I come over here again. I get once again accused of being a so I'm just going to clear them, and then we're back out. Something else I'm really trying to get the hang of as Graves at the minute is positioning. Because as far as Heroes goes, you know, it's debatable, you know, how much skill is actually needed for her. I think she's very, very easy to play, but hard to get the hang of, like, hard to master. And a lot of that comes down to positioning. Because as I've found, that can make or break games. You can just as easily get your tombstone down in some very good spots and kind of make these almost game-winning plays if you know what you're doing. But at the same time, if you don't place your gravestone right, or you just keep dying, you know, it's very easy to basically make your ult useless and just feed the enemy team. I suppose it's like any hero, really. But again, it comes back to Graves just being a good utility hero. Here we actually do end up clearing the first Guardian, which is really nice to see. And then I just head back to the shop and pick up... Oh no, I don't. I once again gonna clear these guys, which is good to see. I didn't realise, actually, watching this back, how many times I go in jungle. But that's really good. I've been trying to fit in more jungling in between waves, and you know, I think this is the nice thing about watching this footage back, is that you actually get a sense of you know, what you were doing right in a game, as well as some mistakes and how you can improve upon it. Something I want you to focus on that I do is, you know, there's not loads of moments like this, but there are times when I'm a bit hesitant with certain actions I'm doing. So if I'm going to go to another lane, or I'm going to help my team kill someone, I get the Enchanter's emblem here because I'm sitting quite high health most of the time, so that's, you know, going to just reward me for being high health. But yeah, I'm sort of a bit indecisive sometimes with some of my choices. A lot of the time I'm stuck between, do I want to get what I feel is like easy farms, easy kills, or do I just want to basically almost be like a resource for my team? I'm just plopping down my tombstones to help them, just pushing the lanes, doing a bit of bonus damage, you know, doing some debuffs, some slows, clearing waves, etc. It's a tough thing to get the hang of. Not really sure what this doorman's plan was here. But anyway, this is a nice segue into kind of what I was talking about. That tombstone there is going to be pretty safe. I've got my line kind of ready. Here it goes. There we go. I like to keep that safe, as I think most Graves players do, just for in case someone comes near the tombstone, you kind of spam the line down right next to it, and then if someone does try to melee it, you know, they're not going to have much luck there, and it's basically a free kill. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I think I overextend a bit too much here, and yeah, I do end up dying, which is not fantastic. And I think now's a good time to just point out that part of uploading these casual commentaries is that I would really value some feedback from you guys. If you see me doing something that you just think is like a really bad play, or I'm not really rotating right, or you know, like, oh, slipping, you should at 1532 you should have been jungling, and you should know that. You should know. Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, here. Drifter, for God's sake. Yep, do end up dying. That was silly of me. But yeah, my plan is to just largely follow this build. I'm just going pretty much left to right. Making what I believe are some pretty informed choices. Previously, I have been using this build, and I've been making a lot of like counter picks too, if that makes sense. Like, I think the game I had before this, I was against a Vindictor, so I was focused on getting knocked down and stuff like that. But something I've learned following this build a bit more closely, just doing the whole left to right method, is you know, I think that countering is great, but you kind of want to use it for unless the enemy's a really big problem, you want to be using it for almost when you're very rich, you've got an excess of items, and you've got a very strong lead with the souls. Otherwise, I found it can just be really detrimental to almost sacrifice your build just to inconvenience the enemy for like 5 seconds. It's not really worth it. Yeah, we do unfortunately lose the Guardian here. I sort of put down my revenge tombstone just to push the lane. That's my problem. I keep putting down tombstones that I don't really need to put down. I quite like to just reserve my tombstones for basically plonking down right next to a Guardian or a Walker, and almost letting them, you know, just do the damage. Take down a Guardian or a Walker for me. So I always feel a bit disheartened when I put down these very reactionary tombstones. I think we're about to lose a Walker or something, and I just spam it down. But anyway, I clear this little jungle here. And yeah, we all kind of hive mind over to yellow here, and then we unfortunately lose our green Walker. And this guy on the mic is like, what are you doing? But it's okay, because I get locked away here for being a fucking... but yeah, I get let out early on good behavior, which is nice. And those two are killed off screen. Doorman and Dynamo. Again, I don't think they had the animation budget to sort of kill them off in a flashy way, so yeah, that's done off screen. But that does allow us to go and push the Walker. I think they were saving the budget for this big Walker fight, which is nice to see. I think I can be like a little bit like cheeky here. Go behind. Ooh. But yeah, the Ivy dies. But yeah, I actually managed to make it out alive. I think this is a good example of feeling when the situation is getting a bit dangerous. You know, it doesn't feel quite right. You kind of get that gut feeling. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna back off early, and I do think that ended up saving my life. And as a result, I get to push this lane a bit. I think that, yeah, that's it. Recharging Rush for my deadheads, because I found I'm quite reliant on them. Personally, I've found going too heavy Spirit doesn't really work out for me. Going all gun doesn't really work. It's just when I get that combo of deadheads and a pretty decent gun, that's when you basically start annihilating people. But Anyway, here I wanna focus very strongly on what goes on, because this was like, this is a nice moment here. This is very a kill assist on this Dynamo. This is very nice. I'm gonna claim these soul orbs. They're mine. Just checking on the Walker, make sure he's all okay, which, you know, he said he was, so that's all good. Sorry guys, just had another apple slice break, but you can see me clearing up a farm here, pushing yellow a little bit. And something I will say, and you've probably picked up on this too, is just how poor my movement is. I would quite like to get a movement guide out. I'm thinking of doing something where I basically make a video of me watching some movement tutorials, reading some articles, just like having a turbo deep dive into movement, kind of, you know, show you guys. If that makes sense, you're like, you know, you can kind of learn with me. So if that's something you want to see, let me know. I'd love to do that. That sounds like quite a fun video. Yeah. Oh, fuck's it. Yeah, here. Get killed by Drifter. In fact, I'm gonna like, I'm gonna draw like a truly vitriolic drawing of Victor eating a lead paint, because God, he's annoying. God, he's so annoying.
Our blue walker has been defeated.
Okay, I'm back. I'm all apple sliced out, and as you can see, I buy Ricochet here, selling my split shot because, you know, if you've got Ricochet, you don't really need the split shot. And what a good choice that was, because, oh, this here is absolutely delectable. I get the lash, go through the Doorman's portal. He actually helps us out here. Kill Dynamo, and then finally kill Doorman. Very, very nice. It might not seem like a lot, and I won't lie, that was mainly my team facilitating that. As I say with Graves, she's very utility based. Usually you are the one helping your team get the kills, but it does occasionally flip on its head where your team are the one helping you get the kills, and it feels amazing when it happens. Mina comes to help me here. We chase down this Drifter. I should have been a bit more aggressive with him. I'm trying to, in general, when I feel it works, be a bit more aggressive, and I think that's a time when I did get a kill assist on that, but I think I could have just had that as my kill, got a 4-kill streak. But yeah, we don't really capitalize on these deaths too well. Unfortunately, we do try and push yellow. I just make a really poor decision here with my positioning. What are you guys up to today? I'm going to Weatherspoons later. I'm off to Spoons, and I don't really drink, so I'm just gonna get the like refill Spoons coffees, which is gonna be nice at like 6 PM. So gotta make sure that's decaf. What a mess! What a mess of a video. Anyway, get the leech, because it's always a good item, especially with Ricochet. Like this camp here. Absolutely sniped from Silver. Sorry, Silver. I should have let you have that, really. Yeah, we all head down to this store together, get some items. That's very cute little group activity there. And I am getting some weird lag. I think this is a common problem I found, that there is, after a little while of playing, you start to get this memory leak. That's what I believe it is. This is what I mean with the hesitancy, right? So Drifter's behind me attacking my team, and I think they've probably got it. But I come back and help them, and it was a good choice, because look, we get kind of ganked here, and you know, these guys on my team are doing the heavy lifting, but me being there, you know, it might have just swung the fight in our favour. And, you know, it's very clear here, most of the team are dead. We decide to go and take mid-boss. This bit here is legitimately embarrassing. I get lost. So I kind of eke my way out of here. And at this point, I'm like, I'm embarrassed because, you know, I've got a few hundred hours in Deadlock now. Like, I don't know how I let that one happen. But hey, I got to, like, skip the mid-boss fight. Again, not enough budget for that one. But we got what we needed, which is the respawn, the instant revive. Go and grab some items. In an ideal world, I should have got Boundless Spirit here. That would have just been a really solid choice to kind of round things off. But I don't, and I have some stuff to say on that in just a second, so I'll come back to that. But yeah, here we start making a very clear push. Drifter's around here, obviously can't see him because he's altered, but I'm feeling pretty safe. I've got my line down, got my team around, so I'm not too worried. Place a gravestone here, can't really go wrong. You know, best case it's going to push in and then start destroying the base guardians, and you know, worst case it's going to help us with the team fight, which is nice. And then we push in, and I think at this point the writing is pretty much on the wall. We are in a 25k or the 26k lead, which isn't everything, but you know, most of the other team are dead. 7 kind of pushes us back a bit, but I destroy these towers here. Not towers, the base guardians. And again, the hesitancy. I'm thinking, oh, I want to go and like retreat a little bit, and then I come back. You know, it's not too impactful because we are doing well, and literally now the whole enemy team is dead. So it doesn't matter. But it's more for a future game where these choices would almost create more of a problem. I like to be quite critical even when I'm doing well, because I think, well, in another game that could have been the difference between life and death. I should have committed to a decision there. But as I say, it doesn't really matter. The enemies are starting to respawn now. As I mentioned, I should have just bought Boundless Spirit, because that would have just been a nice little thing. There's something that pains me about having this many souls towards the end of the game. But yeah, we do end up winning, thankfully. GG, well played all. And yeah, a nice, clean victory there. I do stop recording right now, so I tell you what, I'll put footage of me like speed drawing the drifter on the screen now. Here you go. You can enjoy his lead paint. Anyway, with that being said, I'm off to Weatherspoons. I'm gonna go and have my refill Hogswill sewage water coffee. Gonna see some friends. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, everybody.